Panic Props here with another do-it-yourself instructional tutorial on how to make decor for your home or haunt. Today we're going to be working on a critter wreath. We are looking at one of these. This is a 12-inch willow wreath. Looks great. It's all twisted. Made sure there weren't any ends sticking out. Made sure it was solid. It's not coming apart. So what we're looking for, it's going to work well. We're working with certain critters, spiders, snakes, centipedes, things like that. So with the intertwined willow, it's going to give the appearance of more centipedes, more snakes, and it'll work really well. We're going to be painting this, and we're using a black. Everything's going to be black, but going to initially paint this before putting anything on it, for adhering any of the critters to it. That way we can make sure all the black paint gets in all the creases, making sure that if you turn it a certain way, you're not going to see the color of the willow. It's all going to be black, just a full blackout on this wreath. So that'll be the beginning step, and we'll get to that. I do have some decorative rope here. It's some nautical rope. I haven't decided if I'm going to use this or not yet. I might make a little bow on the bottom of the critter wreath, or I might kind of entwine the critter wreath with the rope, kind of make it look like I'm holding the critters together with this. I haven't decided if it's going to be used or not, but we'll find out later. Another thing I have here is 3 bags of critters. Grab these up, 25 per bag. I don't know how they're split up in here, but there are some large black spiders, some snakes, and centipedes or millipedes, I'm not sure. But they're in there, and it's 25 per bag. So we're gonna cover that wreath up with these. These are more of a shiny, glossy looking black, so the spray paint I'm using is going to be more of a dull, flat black, kind of like a slight satin matte, so it'll give the critters more of a realistic look on there for when they're hung up on the door as a Halloween wreath or decor wreath or whatever for the holidays. So toss those there, and I do have another snake that I'm going to try to incorporate. It's a larger, longer snake. Got it for $1. You can't go wrong with that. Obviously, it's not black. It will be black. But yeah, I think I'm going to hang that guy right down the middle of the wreath, and he'll be there, sticking his tongue out for anybody knocking on the door. Beyond that, last thing we have is spray paint. Shake it up real well. Make sure you're spraying in a well-ventilated area. Don't have any flammables around because you don't want an explosion. And well, we're gonna get that wreath, get the painting, and then gonna find a nice adhesive. I don't know if I'm gonna use a glue gun or something else yet, but we'll get to that point, and I'll show you how things look from there. See you soon. Okay, we are back now. I have my wreath completed. There were a couple changes along the way. It happens when you're working on projects, so it's great to have a plan and be able to change your direction with things. So I did not use any of the spiders or the centipedes. I got a whole bag of centipedes now for another project, and 2 bags of spiders here. So these are going to be great. Always good to have extra pieces for more projects. So another thing I didn't use is that the rope, the twine. Chose not to make a bow on this one, and I didn't think it'd look right wrapping up the snakes with a rope. I mean, snakes wrap themselves up anyway, so this worked out really well. And then the final thing I did is I decided to try just using a flat with the wreath itself, and then a gloss with the snakes. So the snakes have more of a gloss appearance to them right now. It looks okay, but I think it would look better if the whole thing is either more like a satin, since snakes aren't really glossy or anything like that. And they're not really a flat either. They're more like they have some gloss shine to them, but not entirely. So I think this is going to take one more spray with a nice satin black paint, or I might spray a little bit of just a misting of gray on there too to give it a little bit more color. But here you go. Got I did intertwine these little snakes throughout the wreath here. The big guy here, he does intertwine around the wreath, and then his tail comes out over here, so he's kind of my bow at the top. I don't know how he'd look on the bottom. He looks a little better at the top because his tail would be hanging. He would be hanging. So going with that, looking good. That's actually the, yeah, and then all the other snakes are intertwined between the wreath. So if you even look closely, you can see them coming out from between what's going to be looking like snakes too. The whole thing is going to look like a big wreath of snakes, the whole wrapping of snakes. So yeah, once I get that uniform color, the uniform spray on there, it's going to all blend in really well. You're not going to be able to tell a snake from a wreath. It's just going to be a pure round wreath of snakes. And if you got anybody that little squirmish around snakes, they might not want to be knocking on your door around Halloween time, or if you just keep it up all year long. Why not? If it looks good, keep it up. So there you go, got your wreath done. Pretty much you could have used any critters. The centipedes would have looked really well. The spiders would have looked good too. You could have wrapped it with the webbing. Put the spiders all throughout it, underneath the webbing, inside the webbing, on top of the webbing. That way there's like a dimensional effect with it too. Or go with the snakes, because the wreath actually represents and appears like intertwined snakes. So that's why I went with just the snakes, because it just has that perfect look to it for making it look like there's just hundreds of snakes in this thing. So you build your project as you wish. If you'd like to follow this one, that'd be great. And great seeing you again. Like us up, share away, and subscribe. We will see you soon.